Michelle here in Zone 5, Northern Illinois. Today I thought we'd do a little foraging and we would make a beautiful centerpiece for my dining room table. There are so many beautiful things in bloom right now, and I have some zinnias that I want to use up out in the cut flower garden, and so I thought I'd take you around with me while we pick that stuff today. Also, we flipped the store for fall, so I thought I'd give you a little tour of what the store is looking like right now. I have some mums and things that came in over this last weekend, but we're getting ready to go into another week in the 90s. I thought we were over that, but we're not. Today is glorious though. It's like 73 today, so perfect day to be out there picking and foraging and grabbing some things to create a beautiful centerpiece. And you know what? You can do this in your own yard too. You don't have to have greens and things from a florist. You can actually go around your own yard and find things to make a beautiful centerpiece, which is what we're going to do. I have these trowels that I'm going to put it in, these long trowels that, oh, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago I did the succulent garden in, and I had it for 2 or 3 years, and then I finally disassembled it. But we're going to use that same trowel today to create our centerpiece for the dining room table. Now, I did drill holes in this, so we're going to have to put some kind of container in the trowel to hold. We're going to actually use Oasis, which is the green foam that florists use. It holds water, and we're going to put everything in that because I really suck at putting them in the vase and making them stand up all pretty. I can't do that very well. So I always need like the Oasis to hold everything in place. Okay, so let's go gather some things from around my property and the store, and then let's see what we can create. So let's go. Okay, the first place I found to forage is out here by our main gate, and it's got some grasses out here. So this is a panicum or northwind grass. I love these grasses. They have a beautiful color. They stay nice and upright, and they get this beautiful base shape to them when they're growing. They're great to use in arrangement, so we cut on them all season long. I'm right at the corner where all the traffic is right now, so I apologize if there's any noise. So I'm gonna grab some of that. The next one that I have here, this is called a redhead grass. Isn't this gorgeous? This is a fountain grass or a, Pennisetum. I don't know if that's how you say it, but you gotta be careful if you plant these because these will throw their little seeds all over the place. But look at the flower plumes on there. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm gonna put some of these in my arrangement. Check it out. This will be plenty. The next one I'm going to go get is some of this Korean feather reed grass here. I'm going to get maybe 5 plumes of that. It's nice and fluffy. I really like it. So let's go get some. Okay, so this is in my parking lot island, and check that out. Aren't those gorgeous? And I don't know if you can see that, but they have a little bit of like a champagne pink hue to them. These are absolutely gorgeous. These will grow in part shade too, so they won't get as big and vigorous, but they will grow because I have some at my house growing like that. I have some sedum blooming, so I'm going to pick some of these as well and put them right in there. Now, whenever you're picking flowers, you are going to pull all of the leaves off of the stems. So I picked them fairly long, okay, and so I'm just going to pull these leaves right off of here because if the leaves are in the water, then they will rot, and you don't want that. Now, I'm sticking mine in Oasis, so I need a nice clean stem to put in there, and I need it to drink, so in my bucket of water it goes. I'll clean the other 3. I picked 4, and then let's go find something else to put in our arrangement. Here's my patch of Russian sage. I think I'm going to grab some of this as well to give me some vertical height in my arrangement, so I'm going to grab some of this as well. I like the leaves on this redbud tree, so we're going to try the leaves on this too. Now, when you're using leaves from trees, sometimes you have to either like hammer the stems so that they'll take up water or cut a slit up the stems so that they'll take up water, but we're going to try these and see how they do. See, look at that pretty heart-shaped leaf. Isn't that nice? And so when I get to the stem part here, what I can do is take, let me set some of these down and just show you one. Okay, so what I do is I just come in here and I give it a little vertical cut up into the leaf itself. Like that. See how you can get that vertical cut in there, and hopefully that will help it drink more so that it'll last longer than, you know, a day. So we're gonna try these and see how they do. I've never put these in arrangements, but I like the leaves, so let's try it. So I just kind of look around looking at the different foliage and deciding what it is that I like that I want to put in there. I'm thinking I like some of that willow right there, and I have some lower stuff over here that'll be more accessible. So let's grab some of this as well. I think this will look good in there. See, I like the strappy foliage, so we're going to use this, and I'm going to try and use the softer stuff like this right here, because I think this will have an easier time. This greener stuff will have an easier time pulling up water. So I'm going to try and use that. So let me cut some of this. I'm going to cut it long so that I can trim it as needed. Oh, my sedum fell over. Okay, let's keep going. I am out at the cut flower garden, and I learned so much about cut flowers this year. I don't know if I want all this knowledge, but I did find that there are some flowers that I will grow every year from now on, and there are some flowers that I will not even mess with because I don't want to add more complication to my life. The zinnias, oh my gosh, I will plant zinnias. They were fabulous. Straw flowers, I like them and I don't like them. I don't know if I want to plant them again or not. And the amaranth. Now, the amaranth is a love-hate kind of thing, because if you don't get it pinched off before it gets really ginormous, it's not usable, because I don't know how to use it when it gets this great big piece on there. And if I don't pinch it soon enough to get the little branches off the side of it, then I don't know if I like it. And I found with the drapey stuff that if I don't cut it right away, it fades and loses its color. And so we planted this really pretty like green color, but now it's kind of like tan. So I don't know that I love it. Sunflowers, I'll plant 3 times as many sunflowers next year because I loved that. The liatris we used, those did really well. And the lisianthus, I don't know. I bought plugs and I put those in the ground. They didn't get very tall, so they were only good in a short arrangement. We're gonna cut some of them today and use them because they're pretty much to the end of their life cycle, so I want to use them up. I really enjoyed doing it and I learned a lot, but right now it's like a weedy mess because it got away from me, which that is very easy to do when you have too many projects going on. But today, let's cut some zinnias for our arrangement because some of these are absolutely gorgeous. When you cut the zinnias, you want to make sure that the stems on them aren't all wussy like this. You don't want them to flap in the breeze. They need to be nice and stiff. And you want to go down as far as you can on the stem and get them as long as you can. So look at that big, beautiful orange one. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to cut them, throw them on the ground, and then I will show you everything that I cut. Okay, that's what I cut. Aren't those nice? I know, they're so pretty and vibrant. So this is the Benari, it was a mixed seed bag. So it's got all the different colors. So this is the Benari's Giant. So we're gonna clean the leaves off of these and get them in our bucket. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take and I'm just gonna strip those leaves. And if I have a side branch, okay, just like that. So what's nice about zinnias is they're cut and come again. So the more you cut them, the more you get. So you gotta love that because you can keep cutting on them all season long. Look at that, gorgeous. The other thing is I cut these stems as long as I could get them, see? So I want a nice long stem to work with. That way it will be able to be cut if I need it, or I can keep it long. The other thing is zinnias probably have a 4 to 5 day shelf life. You want to get them water right away after you cut them. And I don't know, they're so beautiful. Love them. Here's a few of the lisianthus that I have. I don't have a lot of them left, but I have a few. And so we'll use these in here if the stems aren't very long. But we did pick on these and we did use them. I think there's only a few left in there that we didn't use. So I think next year if I try to do the lisianthus again, I will do plugs because I know growing them from seed can be difficult. And I think that I will fertilize them as I go. Maybe I can get them to get bigger. I don't know. First time I've ever grown lisianthus for cut flowers. So, well, first time I've grown any of this for cut flowers. So it was quite the learning curve and I learned a lot. This is my other patch of zinnias. Now these I got from Johnny Seeds, and this is the liney, I don't know, the liney pink, red, apricot, I don't remember which ones, but it was like the Queenie Liney whatever series. So I'm gonna pick some of these too. Aren't those great? I love the bicolor on there, and there's different ones. So let's grab some. See, different shapes, different sizes. See, look at that one. Isn't that cool? And then this one looks more like See, they're different. I just love that about them. So we'll use these. And don't be afraid to get a short stem, okay? Because you can use a short stem. At least I can. I'll find a way to use this. One of the other things I found is with the sunflowers, you have to get them when they're still kind of closed, and then they'll open up the rest of the way inside. And if you get them when they are too far open, then they don't last very long in the vase. I also have decided that I don't like the multi-branched ones. I like the single stem ones. And I always want to make sure that the ones that I'm using are pollenless, which for the most part, I had the Pro Cut series from Johnny Seeds, but I did have a few other seeds that I put out here that were different. And I am going to take some of these little bitty ones here and I'm going to put them in our display. But you don't get long stems on the multi-branched ones, and they're hard to use when they go in different directions. So for me, I'll plant more sunflowers next year. I really, really liked them. And I did succession plant. So I planted some, I waited 2 weeks and I planted some more, but I only got around to planting 2 successions. And next year I need to have like 5 successions and 3 more rows of sunflowers. So I will be prepping out 3 more rows later in the fall and getting them ready for next year so that I'm in the spring just ready to plant my seeds in the ground. Because we loved all the ones that we direct sowed. They were so easy, which we did the zinnias and the sunflowers. We just direct sowed them right in the ground, and we liked that a lot. The next one that we grew was amaranth, and what I found was I should have pinched these at the very beginning when I planted them, because what happened was they grew up into this great big ginormous stalk, and you can see, let's see, can you see? Right here, you can see where I cut it. Right there, because this was this big ginormous plume that was like huge, and I'm like, I have no idea how to use this. So I actually cut it out and I threw it away because it was so big I couldn't use it. Then what happened was after I cut them, then I started getting these smaller shoots like this, and so these stems are too short, so you have to pinch them at the very beginning. So I could probably use this, but look how short that is. I'd have to use that like in a cube or a really short vase, or find some way to use that. This is the hot biscuit, and the girls really liked this color, but next year I have to pinch them sooner so that they're usable. Now I did pinch the, I don't know, I'm gonna call them fuchsia pink ones a lot sooner. So here's my fuchsia pink, and if I come down to the bottom of the stem, see how much more stem I got out of that? It's a lot longer. So I take it down as low as I can get it. And then again, I'm just gonna pick these leaves off of there. And I'm just gonna get 5 of these, but see, much more use out of that stem. I did plant 2 of these drapey ones right here. No, I don't want any of these today, but these we just took back, see, and we cut them as long as we could get them, and they were really full and really bushy, and the girls really, really liked these. So I got those I got all of the seeds for the amaranth from Johnny Seeds as well. And then these are my green ones, but see how they've turned? They're not as green. They're kind of brown now because I didn't get them soon enough. So I'll probably let them dry out here and then I'll grab them. But I thought, I don't know, I read somewhere, I heard somewhere that they'll stay the color that they're supposed to be and even dry on the branches this color, but no, not so much. These are brown. They're definitely brown. They're not green because see, this is green. Same plant. See, that's green. And last but not least, I do have straw flowers out here. I don't think I'm gonna pick any of them, but you can pick them at this stage right here, or you can pick them when they're starting to open, which kind of looks like this, and they have that center right there. See, you can even pick them with a bud on there, but then they'll start to age as well, and then the seeds will open up and they'll go all over the place. So this will probably self-seed in here, and I had a lot of different colors. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I love them or not. Now, I might pick some of these and put them in fall arrangements, and the girl said that the vase life on them is crazy long. So we had the white, we had some yellow, we had that raspberry color up there. I also had purple ones that were growing. So, and then we had these white with like a pink tip on it. So that's the straw flowers. Lots of weeds in there too. All right, here's what I got so far. I got some sedum in there. I got some of my greens. Right here are my red buds and my willows. I got the zinnias, the grasses. I couldn't help myself. I had to pick a few of the drapey amaranth. I do have a few sunflowers down inside of there. Here, I did pick straw flowers too. I said I wasn't gonna, but I did. I have some straw flowers. I have some of the upright amaranth, and then I have some of the, what is that? Oh my gosh. Oh, brush and sage. Okay, so I think I want to find some hydrangeas too, because I need a big focal flower, and I think I need some purple foliage, so let's look for that as well. I wish the alliums were a little more vibrant. I'd pick some of those. They're almost on the tail end of being done, and this is when I wish I had some roses too, because oh, rose would be so pretty. But I think I am going to take some purple foliage. Here's my shadow. Off of this Wine and Roses Woodgelia. And I'm just going to take some of the tips off. I don't need a lot. I just need a little bit. And it could use a little pruning. So we're going to get some of those too. All right, check it out. There's some nice purple to add to our collection here of stuff that we're going to make something beautiful with. Don't know what, but we'll figure it out as we go. All right, I'm making a beeline for this hydrangea here. This is a little line. And we're going to get some of these really pretty white ones, like this one right here, and I'm going to get the stem long enough that I can rip the leaves off and trim the stem if I need to. Now, I don't want something like that that's so giant, it's bigger than my face, that it's going to look misproportioned. So I'm going to try and look for some of these smaller ones, and I'm probably going to pick 5 because I think that'll give me nice balance in my arrangement. Okay, so here we go. I have gathered everything up on my back porch because it is so gorgeous out here right now. I know I should be like probably weeding and cutting back flowers and doing other things in the garden, but quite frankly, I want to do this because who can resist all this beautiful stuff? Now, I am not a florist, even though I own a floral store. I have some excellent florists that work for me, and when it comes to putting flowers in a vase, I really, quite frankly, suck at it. But I am really good if you give me a piece of oasis. So this is a piece of floral oasis, and basically what you do is you put it in water and it soaks up all the water, and then you put the stems in it. It holds them right where you want them to be, and then it has the ability to drink. Now, what I'm going to use is, and I carried this over here like this, but I have this trowel, okay? So I have this trowel, it's not watertight. I've planted succulents in it before and had it here at my house. I kind of have a love affair with succulents. I love them. But this year I actually didn't plant it up because I did that big picnic table project, which if you missed that, that was really cool. I'll link that down below if you want to watch that. But I do have these containers here that they're from Supermoss, and they're just these little containers, and they have these liners in them. And it just so happened that 3 of them fit in here perfectly. And it's going to give me this green edge right here, so maybe I don't have to use so many greens. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do is I am going to add water to my little dishes here. But this is what's going to allow this to be watertight. So every day I'll have to add water to the little dish so that the oasis has the ability to pull that water up, and then the stems on the flowers have the ability to drink every day. All right, and then using the little plastic container inside there is what's going to make this watertight and not leak all over my dining room table, which is where I'm going to put this. All right, so let me bring the camera closer and I'll kind of talk you through what I'm doing. I'm going to actually put the greens in first, then I'll put the big focal flowers in, and then I'll put the smaller flowers in. And I don't know, I don't really have a plan. It's just going to morph together, come together as I start shoving all the things in there. And I'll tell you, you don't have to be a florist to do something like this. I tell everybody when I teach classes like this, it really is visual. It's about what do you like? What looks good to you? Every once in a while, stand back and look at your piece. Does it look balanced? Do you like where everything's going? Because that's really all that matters, is do you like it? So let's get started. Before we get started, let me talk about the woody stems on things like the hydrangeas and the stems that I pulled off the shrubs. Now, these aren't going to drink that great. So what you're going to do is you're either going to cut a slit in them, which can be hard to do if they're skinny, or you can take a hammer and you can beat the ends of these. Now, I can't find a hammer because every tool I own, I swear, is next door, but I do have a meat tenderizer and I'll use that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to beat the ends of these to kind of open them up so that it'll draw water up through the stem, but I won't do it until I'm getting ready to put it right into the oasis. So I'm going to use my handy dandy meat tenderizer here and beat open my stems. All right, some of the greens I'm going to use is I did get some of the willow, and I got the really green looking stuff, so it's pretty flexible. I did also pick some of the red bud leaves because I like the shape, that pretty heart, and it kind of reminds me of Solal, but we're going to use that. We also have some branches off of our Woodgillia. This is the Wine and Roses, so I like that purple foliage on this one. And then I did pick a few off of my Duravilla. This has got that red-green foliage to it. This is the Kodiak Red, so I got that one. And I did end up picking up some Arborvitae with the little berries on it off of my emerald green Arborvitae. So I'm gonna put some of that in there too. So let's get started. I will plant that cut flower garden again. I learned so much this year in what I liked, what I didn't like, the things that I did wrong, the things that I did right, and then just the whole watering and weeds and all of that, and maybe getting on a schedule to keep that under control. I did really, really good at the beginning. I was out there, I weeded it, it was pretty weed free, and then we hit those dog days of summer and that 100-degree temperatures, and yeah, you know what it's like. You don't want to go out there and weed the garden, so I didn't. And now I got weeds out there. But that's okay because things were big enough that the weeds didn't take over and make them not flower. But next year I'll probably get on a schedule so that's a little bit more under control. So I'm going to go put this on my dining room table. It is absolutely gorgeous. And then we're going to go next door and take a little tour of the inside of the store and a few of the mums and things that I got in. We get our big load of them next week, which is after Labor Day. We get a lot of them in, and we'll be doing a lot of pots and fall projects and decorating and just, fall is coming. And even though it's going to be in the 90s next week, fall is still coming. And I love fall. It's one of my favorite times of the year. I'm not quite ready to let go of summer, but let's go next door, take a look at the fall decor that we did. The girls did a good job. We all kind of chipped in and made different displays around the store, and I thought maybe you'd like to see it. Maybe it would inspire you to go put your fall stuff up, because maybe you're not going to be as hot as we are next week. So let's go do that now. everybody. I hope you had a good time today with me making flowers, taking a tour of the store. I know I certainly had a good time with all the flowers, and I hope that you learned something about the cut flower garden, and or if you want to make something beautiful, go forage around in your own yard. You probably have all kinds of wonderful, beautiful things out there that you can turn into something beautiful to put inside. Next week, we are starting our new video schedule on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so stay tuned for that. I am going to go see my dad in St. Louis, or Belleville, which is near St. Louis, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so we'll do something fun while I'm there. I can't wait to see him. Dad, I'll see you on Sunday. I miss you so much, and I can't wait to get there. So for all of you out there, keep on gardening. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.